Place your wrists underneath your shoulder, knees underneath your hip, and then we're just gonna get some movement into the spine, arching and rounding the back. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Sometimes when we have hip issues, the low back gets really tight, or vice versa. When the back's tight, we get hip issues. And just loosening up the muscles a little will make it feel a lot better. Good, and then Superman, so opposite arm and leg out, draw the belly in, keep the core tight. Try and look down so you can keep your spine in line with the rest of your body. One more to each side. Good, and then we're going to do some hip circles. So I'll start with my right leg, and you're going to draw a huge circle with your knee. Keeping the hip level, drawing the belly in. See how much range of motion you can get in here. And then switch directions. Maybe it feels a little more sticky, maybe it feels easier this way. Good, and then you're going to straighten that leg out to the side. And what we're going to do is we're going to sit back. So you should feel a nice stretch in your adductors, the inside of your thighs, and then you're going to come back onto all four. So it's kind of like a child pose with one leg sticking out to the side. You might feel a little bit of tightness in those muscles. Fairly common. And come back to center, switch legs, big circles, hip circles on the other side. We'll start with those again. See how it feels compared to the other side. Maybe it's a little easier. And then switch direction. Good, and then straighten the leg out to the side. And we're going to do the same thing, sitting back, and then coming back onto all four. Last one, back. Come onto all four, and then come onto your knees. One big step forward for a low lunge. And what we're going to do is pushing the hip forward, so you'll feel your hip flexor stretch from the back leg. And then you're going to pull the weight back, straighten the front leg, feel your hamstrings stretch in the front legs. Pushing, feeling the hip flexors stretch in the back. Pulling back, feel the hamstrings. So most of the time when we're sitting a lot, the hip flexors get really tight, and that can lead to low back issues. You might feel, if you're sort of tight or not, you feel a lot of resistance here. Good, and then switch sides. Push the hip forward on the other side, and always notice how it feels compared to the first side. It's normal that we're somewhat uneven, but if the difference is a little bit too big, then we know there's most likely an issue. We'll do two more. Last one. Good, and then step your leg back, so you're on your knees, tap the feet under or toes under, and then you're gonna come into down dog. Keep the elbows nice and soft, keep the knees nice and soft, and then we're just gonna pedal out the heels a little bit here. And then walk your hands towards your feet and slowly roll yourself up to stand. We're gonna do a deadlift here, and we're gonna add a little side leg lift. So once you come back to stand, lift that outer leg down, lift that outer leg. I'll come forward and lift. So activating the muscles on the side. And then switch legs, hinge, lift. The last one, we're gonna hug the knee into the chest, keeping a nice tall spine. So you should feel a nice stretch in your glutes when you're pulling the leg up. I like to do a nice long warm up for the hips because they're all big muscles. Sometimes they take a little bit of time to release. And we'll do one more on each side. Really hug the knee into the chest and then shake it out.